everyone! You may notice I've got a different angle for the moment. That's because today I realized that I've been procrastinating a lot because my sewing room is a mess. I never get around to getting it fully taken care of, and I think I'm actually going to save more time by doing that right now. I know I've only got a very limited time before costume college, but I think that this is what I need in order to actually get there and get those things done. So I haven't touched anything in here yet this morning. I'm going to show you what I'm dealing with, and it's not pretty, and I apologize for the following images. This is my craftastrophe. That's my couch-side little table with empty soda bottles, super glue, my morning meds, water cup, coffee cup. There is the fabric pile. Some of it's folded, a lot of it is there on the floor behind my ironing board, which should really be put away when I'm not ironing. On my ironing board you can see it's become sort of a table because it is out. I have an empty glass there, I have some mail, I have some drawing work on the floor there, socks, boots. That is my petticoat, which shouldn't be on the floor. This is my sewing table. You can see I do have space where I could sew more fabric. So yeah, I was watching some Queer Eye before I decided, you know what, I need to get up and start filming, and that's why the Netflix thing is up. But yeah, this is what I'm starting with. I'm gonna set up the tripod, and you can work with me while I get this going. I'm sorry for the traffic noises. Opening the windows really helps me when I'm trying to get stuff done. I'm backlit. It's terrible. You'll survive. First thing I like to do when I'm about to get cleaning, after I open all the doors and, well, not all the doors, but the windows to get the air through, is spray a scent. So this one is called Country Chic by Bath and Body Works. Not sponsored, but this was a free gift from work probably a year ago. And it's a great room spray, so let's... And then I'm going to start working from the outside in. So I'm going to be moving toward my fabric stash, save that for last. And you can see this is also where we keep our carpet shampooer and vacuum, because they don't have a really good home. So I'm going to move them over into the dining room to start with. I do not have a very good angle for this, but you're gonna bear with me. And now that I'm here, I have the pattern piece for my stomacher, which I'm going to, rather than create a pile for things at this point, I'm actually going to put with my other pattern pieces all the way back here. If I can make it. It is a dangerous voyage. Success! And then while I have you here today, I did want to talk about something serious, which if you are my friend on Facebook, you'll know that there is an event called Labyrinth of Jareth, which is a popular like fantasy dress-up event. However, the people who run this event are sexual predators. My friend is one of their victims. I would like to ask that if you subscribe to me, if you enjoy this content, please do not attend or promote Labyrinth of Jareth. Don't support predators. Also, don't be predators. Like, sharing a hotel room with someone is not consent. So this is my horsehair, which I got for my hexadecimal cosplay. This is to, rather than doing the pleats on the back of the robe a la Francaise I'm making, I'm going to have these covered in the taffeta and maybe some black lace kind of coming off of her back. So I think that'll be really cool. And that's why my bodice is actually more fitted as opposed to having those pleats going down. That's going on my sewing table because that is a current work in progress. These, however, are fabric scraps from that. make sure these are actually all scrap. And then comes the question of, are these usable scrap or are these trashable scrap or recyclable scrap? And honestly, it's taffeta, it's gonna fray. I'm going to call these get rid of scrap. I'll get back to that later, but for now I'm gonna create a pile over there. And for this, I have some more of that plastic boning, which I am not using anymore, so that needs a home. And I need to find something to tie this off with. Which I have an extra piece of my corset lacing that I cut shorter. So that'll work for right now, just so it doesn't spring all over the place. But yeah, my days off have changed, so I don't have 2 days off in a row anymore. And I was sitting here literally all morning, it's 3 o'clock right now, saying, yeah, I gotta get this done. I gotta get started. Like, this is supposed to be my last day to work on hexadecimal, but she is still a bodice and my skirts, and there's no overskirt even or sleeves. But that's okay. I know why I was procrastinating, and this way I'll know where everything is. There will be less time hunting things down. That's a pattern piece. That's a pattern piece. These are what I used to make the bodice. So there's my front panels, and then my back panel with the darts cut out so I can mark them super easily. I know that's not going to get exact, but that looks pretty exact to me. So I think I did a pretty good job. But these are gonna go with my other pattern pieces this way. And those will be put away more tidy later. This needs to be cut off because this is cabbage. That is not usable. I have my marking implements for dark fabrics, for light fabrics, for also light fabrics. So I have, this is actually a white colored pencil. This is charcoal for sketching, and this is an actual washable fabric marker. That's what I use to mark my fabric. That's how janky I am. Those are going into my tools drawer. Shoes are going into the hallway. But are these not the most adorable little slipper shoes? Thank you, Marcia, mommy-in-law. I love the blue. They fit great. Oh, and there's my ruler that I was looking for. Also going on my sewing table with my other tools. That'll be sorted later. There's my nail file that I desperately need. I'm going to put this on the coffee table, which reminds me I have coffee here. But then I can take, there went the Gorilla Glue, I can take the empty soda bottle and the glass to the kitchen. Our recycle can is full, but that's not what I'm working on right now. So something that happens a lot when I get into cleaning mode is I start with one thing and then I realize, oh, there's this other thing that needs doing and I have to do that instead. But no, this is my focus. That's what I'm doing. That's what you're here for. So these are actual completed pieces. They are not hemmed yet. They are not completed pieces. They are still work in progress. I have a bin for that. That's totally full. So I need to make a pile for these for the moment, which is kind of what that was. But if I create that pile like that, then it's just gonna stay there. It'll be on the couch. That way I can't sit down. Another glass and another bottle. My pincushion and my thread snaps going onto the sewing table. That is trash. That is the other pattern piece. Trash. That's a Sephora discount I probably won't ever get around to using. There's my stomacher. Look how well that turned out. I'm so proud of this piece. But that's going into the pile on the couch. These are going to recycling. I have no idea if this is interesting or boring, but it's what you're getting this week, so deal with it. This was the mock-up piece for my bodice, so I'm gonna toss that into the scrap pile over there, along with that one and that one. And I recently learned that recycling your textiles through H&M is not the greatest idea because they're a bunch of bastards who like recycle maybe 2% of the stuff that they get for recycling, and also fast fashion and So I'm gonna be looking for a different place to recycle scraps. I have trash bags full of scraps back here, which I will get to, which need to go. If you need some scraps, let me know. I'll send you, I will fill a flat rate box and send it your way. These are my Jane Cook boots for LARP. They are going to go in the LARP bag in the bedroom. I'll be back in a minute. See, I'm already so proud of the progress that I'm making. Like, look at that. There's floor there. I mean, getting rid of the vacuum and shampooer helped with that a lot. And this is not the greatest setup with my tripod because the table it's on is more narrow than the tripod, so it's not fully extended, so it's kind of leaning back, but you're good for now. Pressing hem, sewing table for now. The roll of pink, which is going to go tucked into the corner with the roll of taffeta. The taffeta should come out though, because that's the next thing I need in order to make the sleeves. My stays, which are going to go on the couch because that's part of the not yet finished project. Coffee break. And then I found my little basket full of unfinished projects and planned projects. It is full. There's nothing else going in here, which means I should not commit to any more projects at the moment. This is also for a future project in Inflatable Penguin. Guess what that's for? That's for the project I can't show you because it's a secret. Also, I ordered a petticoat for my Mary costume, but this one is way too short, so I think what I'm going to have to do is maybe cut the elastic off and sew it onto the bottom of another too short petticoat so that I have one long petticoat. I don't know how that's going to work out, but that is also a future project for costume college. More scraps. my box of edging ribbons. These are things I could probably stand to get rid of because they are, I mean, if I need bias tape, I make the bias tape out of the fabric that I'm working with. I think I can actually move this setup a little bit closer now so that maybe the light angle will be better. This is going somewhere later, so for right now I'm going to put it in the hallway so that it's obvious that it needs to be put away somewhere. Okay, I've switched to well, you are now on my sewing table, so congratulations on that. This is a mechanical pencil that my husband stepped on and broke because it was under some fabric. That's what happens when you leave things lying on the floor, Lauren. So that's trash. My iron should probably not be left plugged in. So I'm gonna wrap that up and put it also in the hallway because that's something else I need to figure out a home for. And I love that this one actually has the little clip on the plug so that you can attach it to its own cord. Don't flip your iron over backwards, by the way, when there's water in it. So this goes in the hall. Or on the dining room table, you know, whatever. But look, my ironing board is all empty and I can put it away until I actually start putting the sleeves, sorry for that noise, putting the sleeves together and have to pull it out again. And I need a little bit more space, which hopefully clearing up the fabric pile will help with. So now on my floor, I have some socks and papers. So that's gonna be the next step. Napkins are trash. That's a piece of trash. All these little tabs from the McDonald's Monopoly, not McDonald's, Safeway Monopoly. McDonald's Monopoly was ages ago. I don't even remember the last time I had McDonald's, honestly. Q-tip is trash. So I'm taking the trash first, and then I'll come back to socks, and then I'll take care of papers. You didn't know I was a disgusting garbage human in the off time, did you? So these socks are all going to the laundry hamper. Hanger can go to the bedroom. Don't even know why this is out here. And then these papers, these were my progress on PubDraw, which is kind of really awesome. I don't know if you know Critical Role. It's a D&D group with Matt Mercer and a bunch of famous voice actors. And it's kind of, I didn't really get into their first season, but the second season is really good. And yeah, so Marisha Ray, who is Matt Mercer's wife, got together with Babs Tarr, who is best known, I guess, for drawing Batgirl. And Babs Tarr is teaching Marisha how to draw, and together they're teaching us all how to draw. So these are really bad. If you really want to see them, they're on my Instagram, Cloud Shaper Costume Design, or they are on my Facebook, which if you can find my Facebook, you know my Facebook. For now though, these don't belong here. I'm going to put them in a bookcase. There's the schedule for costume college this year with a piece of onion from pizza stuck on it. So I'm gonna throw away the onion bit and keep this because we don't get a new one, and I've already marked out the classes that I want to take. I'm not going to put it on my sewing table. It's not a sewing table thing. It's going to go on my desk. And then I have my tape measure. If you're working with a flexible tape measure like this, I recommend measure your client and then also the fabric using the same one, because they do vary, they do stretch out, and that way you'll get more accuracy. This is the sketchbook I started for Pub Draw. There was my most recent work, which was redrawing my first one. Turned out a lot better than the first one I did, so good job there, Lauren. But that's also going in a bookcase. This, I am starting a bullet journal for May because I haven't tried that before, and I love to keep, okay, this sounds ridiculous. I love to keep myself organized, and yet look at this place. But yeah, so that is going to, actually that is going to stay on my sewing table because that's something I want to keep handy and keep using. And look at all of this loose thread. And then under my sewing table, I have a couple of strips of taffeta in gold that I cut to make ruffles for my hexadecimal. So that goes into the work in progress pile, wrapped around my sewing chair leg. Oh dear. So I need to liberate my pincushion strawberry. It liberated itself. This is my needle pincushion, so for sewing needles, because if they get pushed all the way in, they'll just get pushed all the way through. And it's also the one that has the strawberry on it, which is really useful. It's for sharpening and smoothing and making them, your pins and needles work better. I'm almost ready to vacuum, I think, but let's keep going in here. Hey, a big pile of notebooks. This one has a packing list for LARPing, which I know like the back of my hand now, so that's gonna go in a bookcase. This is character sheets, bookcase. Ooh. These are my measurements? Yes, my measurements, which I'm going to need to make my sleeves. Sewing table. Me trying to create a schedule for myself, bookcase. See if the bullet journal works better. I guess also me trying to figure out scheduling and some stories I wrote years and years ago. Ooh, my work benefits that I should keep handy, bookcase. That's trash. Trashy trash, and I guess that's a thing to keep. Some car stuff. It's trash. Oh, it's the Custom College 2018 stuff. That's definitely trash by now, but kind of nostalgic. Fabric scrap. Trash. Part of my foot brace is a keep, but it needs its own pile. Adhesive stuff. Random tapes and skein. A Disney Princess's pin, which is going to go to the bedroom or hang on a wall or something. But this duct tape can go into this. This goes on top of a bucket, which is that way. I am very far away from you. You could definitely be up in my space at this point. This is what I've been working on, which is the pile under my sewing table. I have another tape measure, which is much more stiff, and by my reckoning, a lot less trustworthy. But when you need a tape measure, you need a tape measure, so I can probably have an extra one around. And I don't like wrapping them too tightly because that does stretch them. I do like them wrapped though, because otherwise they become a crinkled mess. So that's going sewing table for right now. That just completely unwound itself. Transfer paper, which is good to have, but not something I immediately need. So I'm going to start a sewing tools pile. This is part of my American Mickey Alice in Wonderland, Alice Madness Returns, the Mad Hatter level costume. So this is a completed costume piece that should be with my costuming. My jump rope for when I need a get up and move break, which I hardly ever use. I think I got it at Daiso, so it's not really a big loss if I decide to get rid of it, but it would be nice if it was untangled. I get plenty of workout at work. Maybe my husband will use it. I don't know. But if he doesn't want it, then it's gonna go to some secondhand store. So, we no longer appearing in this room. Oh, it's a cute little tiger's bookmark. But I don't use bookmarks because I don't read physical books anymore because technology, which is a sad thing, but we're gonna trash that. Some pretty green ribbon. I don't remember why I have that, but it's enough that it could be pretty on something, like maybe arm ties or something. A little bit from my sci-fi book cover costuming. So I guess that is completed costuming. This pretty piece of trim. Not really enough to do much of anything with, but I have trouble letting it go, but I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to let it go. Just like this red bias tape, and this red bias tape, and this tiny bit of applique. The leather cording I'm going to keep because it's good for lacing things up. I think that is what it was for before. Another fabric scrap. Is that an actual pattern piece, or is that... Yeah, that was an actual pattern piece, but it's not marked in any way. So if... I'm pretty sure it was like an underbust corset, but if I need an underbust corset, I will create a new pattern. And maybe I'll mark it, but more likely I'll do like I did with the bodice and just create it on the fabric itself. Sculpey, which is still squishy, so I'm going to keep this not in the sewing room because it's not something I think I need for sewing, but it is something that's useful because we do LARP. More manufactured bias tape, more costume bit. Oh, there's some more of probably that same pattern. That is a weird cut pattern. I'm feeling like maybe I cut something else out of this. So I'm gonna trash that as well. That needs to be taken care of, like, pronto. That's trash. That's trash. That was me keeping track of budget, which is fallen by the wayside. I have the electronic means of doing that, so I can not worry about that bit. This is extra yellow thread from my Miss Mary Quite Contrary. Some cord, which may or may not be useful for lacing something up. These are scraps. This is fabric. We'll get to that later. Yarn. This is from an Afghan that I started freshman year of high school. I'm not gonna finish it, but it's almost a full skein of light blue yarn, so maybe useful, who knows. Little boxes to keep things in, which are currently keeping nothing. Embroidery thread for a project I gave up on. Ear loop mask for survival? I have a box that this goes in. It's in the hallway. Another thing to keep things in. White satin wired ribbon, which can make some really pretty flowers. I think that's what I was using it for. More embroidery thread. Something has gone very wrong, written out in hexadecimal. More scrap. I think we are getting down to this box's original purpose, which was string and yarn. There is a good deal of ribbon in here as well, but I would like my ribbon to live someplace else, so I'm pulling that out of here. And also coiling up the ribbon when it has come uncoiled. And this is like some kind of weird instant bow ribbon or instant ruffle ribbon. Like there's a center thing that you pull. So it like ruffles on its own. But not what I need at the moment. This could actually be really pretty on hex. This is a little bit of leftover from making Dana's wedding dress. This is the tiniest bit of black lace, which I'm not sure if I would need it for hex, but you can never have too much lace or ruffles. Despite how tangled and terrible this looks, this is actually still a useful bit of black embroidery thread. Pre-made yellow bias tape. Thread. Scrap. So shiny. Flat iron, because I saw you can create pleats with a tiny flat iron. So I got a flat iron. I have not yet tried to make pleats with it. But I still flat ironed my hair once and it turned out pretty nice. Keychain rings? I'm gonna chuck them. Fluffy red yarn, which is full of little bits of thread, but it's still going to be useful if I want to make something warm and fuzzy. My Emily the Strange shoelace, which was my necktie for working at a grocery store deli when I first moved to Portland, Tualatin. I don't think this is who I am anymore, so I'm gonna say it can go away. Thread, more ribbon, more scrap lace. Well, that is very bodice shaped scrap lace, and I think that might be what I cut it for. But it's also stained, so no thank you. More embroidery thread. Zipper packaging. like I said, I don't know if this is actually interesting to anyone, but it helps me to have someone to talk to while I do this. And that's you. So this video's for me. So you're gonna deal with it. Zippers, which I think I got last costume college at the bargain basement. Pretty sure that fabric paint is dead. More string. Sailor Moon playing cards, because that belongs with your sewing stuff, Lauren. Yes, it does. Oh, I found some pins. That's exciting. This is a danger box now. I have a magnet somewhere. I'll put that to some use. There's a lot more embroidery thread in here. I'm not sure if I should qualify it as string, but it's in here. Ooh, and there's a Ziploc baggie with more thread in it, so I can maybe use this to hold the rest of it. And this is some really neat trim. I don't have a plan for it, but it's really neat, so I'm gonna keep it. Random bits of ribbon I don't need. This, I tried to make something cool out of it. It's like shiny ribbon yarn, but I don't like the color, I don't like the feel. Oh, it's my sampler from costume college where they taught us how to sew a looped buttonhole and a hook and eye and, oh sorry, a hook and thread loop. And then a snap, and then all the seams. So that's pretty cool. I should keep that. I should hang that on the wall. I don't need to keep this little bit of trim or this little bit of bias tape. Oh, more transfer paper. Neat. Twist ties for all of your twist tie needs. I have a junk drawer for these. Broken colored pencils, but it can be sharpened. Little bits of ribbon, scraps, an orange marker. Is it alive? Very much so. Oh, it's a flip chart marker, so it's for writing on those giant pads of paper for like business meetings and things. That's a very bright colored pencil. More string and yarn. And the weird tassel that came on that last purse I bought. The best colors of string. I found a tutorial a while ago on Armenian needle lace, and it's really cool, and that's my plan for most of this string. I did not purchase it for that though. This was all given to me by my mother. And this might actually all be string and thread and embroidery bits now. And the most hideous utilitarian looking ball of yarn ever known to man, but it might be good for something for Jane. This was a chain I got for that time when I was all of the Endless, so this was the chain on Destiny's book. Do I need it? Will I use it? Should it go in my jewelry? I should get rid of it. Another very utilitarian bit of string. The thing to actually wrap embroidery thread around, which I have a stack of here, so I'm going to put those with the embroidery thread. An Ulta Beauty compact mirror. Safety bin, tiny bit of bias tape, And this is all, aside from the glue stick, not glue stick, hot glue stick. Oh my god, why do I keep these little bits of everything? Oh, this is the cute little sewing machine pin I got for volunteering at Costume College. So that I should keep. I'm gonna have to put some pins up on my wall because I have some cute ones and I don't wear pins, and that pin just fell right back in here. Oh, it's my old tripod. Look, look what you used to be. I don't think I need this. And some part of a socket tool set, which I need to find out which one that goes to. Alright, so all of the yarn and thread is going to go back in here. The embroidery thread is going to get sorted out. That took longer than I thought it would. You are probably bored to tears, but thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for working on whatever you... Oh, that's embarrassing. My phone died there. So I decided to keep the ribbons in with the yarn and thread because they work together for now and I don't have a better place for ribbons. But I wanted to share with you something I did find trying to move on to the next tote, which is that this tote is entirely full of costuming that I thought I had gotten rid of last time we moved. So I'm really happy I didn't. And that means there's one less tote I have to keep in my sewing room. This can go with my other costuming. And that's really exciting because now I have some space under my sewing table, except I'm probably going to put that tote that we were just working on in there, but it's a smaller tote and that feels so much better. And then I have two matching totes under there instead of one little green one and one big pink one and another green one hanging outside in the front. Anyway, just wanted to come back, share that with you. I'm going to call this video for now, but I'm going to keep working on my own. So, yeah, if you're feeling stuck, try something different. I know a lot of times with procrastination it's, well, but I need to work on this other thing too, and if I'm doing thing one, I can't do thing two, and then thing two is going to fall farther behind. Just take a breath, do thing two. Thing one can wait. You have time. You can figure it out. But yeah, go create something beautiful or clean up after all of your wonderful creations, and I'll see you next time.